The NFC Championship game on the strength of Saquon Barkley and the defense, knocking off Los Angeles Rams 28-22 in the divisional round on Sunday in snowy Philly. The Eagles' offense has been fueled by their rushing attack, 454 rushing yards this postseason, ranking second in the NFL. However, their passing game has struggled, recording just 65 and 121 yards in their two playoff games, the lowest totals of any team. All right, Shay, here's what I want to lock in on right now. Do you feel like Philly's offense is good enough to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, because you can't stop the run. I remember my first Super Bowl. John, they'll go back and look at those stats. Well, if you can't stop TD, you can't beat us. I used to tell, it got so bad, Stephen A. and Dio, I used to tell guys, if y'all stop TD, we'll throw the ball. If y'all don't stop him from running, we're not going to throw it. And right now, no one can stop them running the football. That offensive line is doing what they do. They're a dominant offensive line. They're one of the two or three best offensive lines in football. Not only can they pass block, but it's a pleasure. It's a joy for them because they really wanted Saquon to get that record also because they would have been immortalized. They would have been in the record book for immortality. But it didn't happen. But look at these holes that he's running through. Why would I ever want to have Jalen Hurts to drop back and throw the ball when so many things can go wrong? As opposed to just turn around and hand it off to him, and he hit his head on the goalpost from 60 yards. 4 of those runs, 4 TD runs against the Rams, covered at least 60 yards, guys. Do you understand how hard that is? This is an NFL team. So, yes, this offense is good enough. You're going to have to make them beat you with their weakness. I believe their weakness is throwing the football. But if you keep playing to their strength, letting them run the football, yes, they can run themselves to a Super Bowl victory. Yes, they can.
I think they could run themselves to the Super Bowl. I do not think the lack of consistency in their pass game right now is going to hurt them against Washington. I think that they will be able to consistently do that against Washington. Shannon, Stephen A., it's hard for me to believe that the way that the pass game is operating right now is going to be good enough to beat a Steve Spagnuolo in the Chiefs if it's in the Super Bowl with Chris Jones, and they got the chance to three-peat. I got to imagine one of the all-time great defensive coordinators is going to sit there and say, you're not going to do it against us. And we are going to make you, over the course of 4 quarters, do it this year against our defense. Or Buffalo, with Josh Allen playing the best football of his career and Sean McDermott, one of the better defensive minds in the NFL, sitting there going, hey, you're going to have to do it against us in the Super Bowl. We are going to make you play left-handed. Now, is it easier said than done? Absolutely. I actually thought the Rams did a pretty decent job of it last week, except for obviously those 2 huge runs that Saquon breaks off of. The pass game is risk-averse right now. And there's a part of me that says, rightfully so. Likely you are going to have a great chance to win the football game. But you are going to have to be an all-time, or a quarterback that's playing in an all-time great kind of pace. That's hard for me to believe, Shannon. That's hard for me to believe that that's going to be good enough when it matters the most.
That's fair, Dio. But here's what I would say to you. You know, one of the things that I love to do, fellas, and put them up on the screen when I'm talking to them, please. One of the things that I love to do when I'm covering basketball, one of my favorite things to do, fellas, is I like to stand behind Kendrick Perkins when I'm trying to hide, because nobody will find me. You see what I'm saying? Because he's so massive. You can't even see who the hell I mean, you can't even see me behind Big Perk, right? Have you seen Saquon Barkley behind that offensive line?
Yeah, they're huge.
One of the reasons why he's having such a successful season, first of all, you can't see him because those mountain of men are in front of him blocking for him. Have you seen, while we're looking and marveling at the speed, the agility, the athleticism, the quickness of a Saquon Barkley, have you seen the holes that he's running through in order to get past the initial line of defense into the secondary? I mean, my God. Shannon, you can run through those at this stage of your life.
Yeah.
Look at
I
those
ain't going
holes.
to the house, but I get 10.
Look at them. There you go, damn right. That's what it is. And so all I'm saying to you, Dio, is this.
Dio.
I get you. If I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, you want to say no. But if your offensive line is going to do that, I mean, look, they're good enough to win the Super Bowl.
The thing, Dio, this is what I will say. In order to stop that running game, you're going to have to get ahead of them and neutralize the running game because they're behind and they'll run themselves out of time trying to catch up. But if it's a nip-tuck ball game or they have the lead and they play the game on their terms, Oh, they absolutely can, because that's what happens. And now, if we get a lead, Dio, now it's kind of like Baltimore. When they got the lead, they kind of got away from Derrick Henry, and before you know it, a 7-point lead went to 14 because 21-7 because they fell behind. You need to make this team play on your terms, because if they play the game on their terms, as Stephen A. was showing you, look at those holes. I won't hit my head on the goalpost, but I got a first down on some of those carries.
Yeah,
I know Saquon. So you got to make them throw the football. But in order to do that, you have to get a lead to make them do that.
I agree with that. And they're the ultimate pick your poison offense, right? We've talked about that all season long. If you want to commit to fully stopping the run, you're probably going to leave AJ and/or Devontae one-on-one, and good luck trying to match up with that. If you want to play coverage to make sure that the pass isn't hurting you, then you're probably going to be light in the run. I actually think stacking the box against them is bad, Shannon. You know this from a football perspective, because if he gets past that second level, he's gone. And I think that's what we saw against the Rams a little bit. I'd also say this. Both of those long runs are on third down. You know, the Jalen run to start the game, third down. The Saquon run on third down, that's a little bit different as well. You got to be prepared for them to run the football on third down. I understand the philosophical approach offensively. I do. But 2 weeks ago, it felt like they were at times trying to throw the ball, and Green Bay knew where they were. And this past week, it did feel like Jalen would be looking in the right spot. I could point to multiple moments where, like, hey, he's open, throw it, and Jalen just wouldn't. So is that a lack of confidence, or is that just being ultra, ultra, ultra cautious with the football? That's for Philly to have the conversation and figure out. I don't think it changes, though. I don't think all of a sudden it's miraculously going to go for 350 yards. Does it have to?
No.
To Shannon's point, it only matters if you force them to have to throw the football to win the game.
All right. The Eagles are favored by 6 in Philly. That one's Sunday at 3 Eastern. When we come back here on First Take, Caleb Williams now knows who his next head coach will be. Is Ben Johnson the right man to get the most out of the former #1 pick, or was there a better candidate on the table? We'll dive into that. Plus, Josh Allen getting another crack at taking down Mahomes in the playoffs. Does he need to be Superman to move on to the Super Bowl? We'll discuss. Be right back.